What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next part of my CD collection. Yeah, it's not gonna be a long vid, so fucking hate it. It's not gonna be a long vid, but before I start, I want to show y'all something. Yeah, I caught that like over the break and all day, like the Bob Marley poster. If you guys could see it, and like the Marvin Gaye poster right there, dope poster and shit like that. Yeah, it's something I had to cop for myself. Other than that, let me get started with some of these CDs. It's only gonna be about 4 CDs this time. First one is um, first one is the Pharcyde with Bizarre Ride to the Far Side. This is actually their debut album, released in 1992. I did a review on this about around 2013, and I said it was a very good album. It's known for songs like "Passing Me By," um, "For Better or For Worse." Probably one of my favorite Fat Lip verse is on that song right there. What else was that one song? I'm that type of nigga on the DL Other Fish. This is a fucking classic, and this was released at a time when gangsta rap was taking over in the West Coast, and they decided to put out like this is kind of like the West Coast equivalent of like 3 Feet High and Rising, but more. But this album is like a different, like very different though. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like Far Side was alright to the Far Side. If you guys want to see my review, just check it out. I'm gonna save this one for last. And this is the album I've been looking for years and stuff like that. Very dope album. This is Digable Planets with Blowout Comb, released in 1994 on Pendulum EMI. Digable Planets, you guys should know who they are. Like a lot of people know them for that song Rebirth of Slick, like I'm cool like that. Like everyone has heard that song. It's been on commercials and etc. That was actually on the first album. What was the first one? Reaching. It's called Reaching. Yeah. I need to get my hands on the album. But like by the time this album was coming out, they were actually didn't like the I think the direction hip hop was going to, or so they got like heavily involved with the community. They moved back to Brooklyn, and so that's why like they come up with this album Blowout Cone. It's like in my opinion, this is the best album. Like this album is so out there, like the jazz, so jazzy, and at the same time it's still street. You know what I'm saying? Like singles albums known for it only came out with 2 singles: Ninth Wonder, Black Hittillism, and Dial 7 Axioms of Creamy Sky Spies. And yeah, very good album. And I think Borough Chick with Goo, I think that was like an underground single, if I'm not mistaken. But this is, in my opinion, a top 10 album like in 1994. Not just in hip hop, but in music in general, because this album is very jazzy. I'm gonna definitely do a review on this album. Like, well, I can't say a lot of words, man. I'm waiting to my review because this album is just unbelievably good. Then we got Jeff Beck's Wired album, 1976 on Epic Records. Jeff Beck, guitarist from the Yardbirds. Very, he's like one of the most unbelievable, like versatile guitarists you'll ever hear. Yeah, this basically an instrumental, jazz instrumental album and shit like that. Very good album. Probably my favorite album from Jeff Beck. A lot of people say the previous album, Blow by Blow, was his best album, but I love that album. But this album speaks volumes. So yeah, and basically yeah, this is a very good album. Like he went for like you can hear like a more synthesized sound with this album and shit like that. So very good album. Must have. This is actually the 2001 reissue. And the last album, Matthew G. This is your favorite album right here. D'Angelo with VooDoo, released in 2000 on Chiba Sound on the version. This album is such a ooh. Singles I'm known for is Devil's Pie, Left and Right, Untitled, How Does It Feel, Send It On, and Feel Like Making Love, which was actually a cover of the Roberta Flack song that she came out with in like 1973, I believe. As much as I think like I like his version more than Roberta Flack's, but I think Bob James he did the best version of that song in my opinion. But I'm gonna save that for a different day. Around the time this album was released, he experienced like a writer's block because Brown Sugar came out in like 1995. That was a huge album, a very dope album, classic album. Like that got him some buzz, but like I think after the tour he got like in the writer's block, and he was also didn't like the how people were doing R&B at the time. He didn't like the direction R&B was going to, and also like what got him back was like the birth of his son, cause he was with Angie Stone around this time, and so this is a very good album. Like one of my a lot of people say this is his best album. I have to I have to say because I have to really actually listen to this album because yeah I haven't heard this album in years, and someone just told me to get this album. But like D'Angelo, he never puts out bad music. I mean, yeah, a lot of people kind of get at him because like he does take. It took him 5 years to come out with a second album, and it took him 14 years to come out with the Black Messiah album. But the wait is worth it. You know what I'm saying? So also like the Soulquarians is all over this, and the Soulquarians like late '90s to the early early 2000s, like they were at their peak with you had comments like Water for Chocolate, Erica Badu's Mama's Gun. I mean, the Roots Things Fall Apart. I mean, they were just unbelievably good. So D'Angelo Voodoo 2000 must have in your collection. And that's all the time I have. I probably might do a review probably tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Peace. Have a good Friday.